Hello and welcome. This is Jay the Jester with Jester's Court Gaming, and I'm actually going to be mixing up a little bit this time. So first and foremost, um, I usually do some Power World. That's actually been what I've been doing is the challenge run for Power World, but today we're actually talking about something a little bit different. Today we're going to be covering Enshrouded and the Early Access Roadmap 2024 was released in the last 24 hours, and honestly, it's pretty exciting. Enshrouded was one of those games that I got into with my fiance, and we enjoyed the heck out of, honestly. Um, and I really do hope that they're gonna do a lot more with it. Uh, Weapon changes, more to the classes, all of those things. So I'm looking forward to reading through this and seeing what they have in mind here. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started into this. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. Stay tuned with our channel. You'll be able to keep up with when we're streaming. We do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So here we go. Start with... And that is our official roadmap. Alright, so first and foremost, this is their official statement on the matter, so I'm just going to read that openly and we'll get right into the actual features in a second here. Greetings, Flameborn. You've all been patiently waiting for weeks now, eagerly wondering what's next for Enshrouded. We've been playing it very safe, on the one hand. We have big ambitions for this game, and loads of ideas. On the other hand, however, Enshrouded is a brand new game, and some of the things we want to do might not turn out to be more... They might turn out to be more difficult than we can anticipate. Yeah, I think that absolutely makes sense. It's very important that a new developer and kind of someone who's getting their feet wet in this whole industry and really making a good game needs to think about that sort of thing. You don't want to over-deliver on more than what you actually can do. It's really a push and pull of wanting to keep you interested without over-promising on our capacity to deliver. See? Yeah, exactly. Nonetheless, we've managed to land on a roadmap that we think will be of interest to everyone. For those of you who have shared your feedback on feature upvote, a lot of those items will look familiar. Okay, so they're stating that anybody that knows of the feature upvote, this will be kind of not completely new news to them. One of the factors that makes us feel so confident in the evolution of Enshrouded is that in so many cases, your feedback and our vision for the game align pretty closely. So that's really cool. They're basically saying that anything that we do, anything that we're kind of suggesting, they're kind of on the same page about. So yeah, you have complete community, like, here we go, this is what we want, and the developers are also like, yeah, yep, we also want that. Let's make that happen. It just might take some time. For those of you who haven't looked into feature upvote yet, take a look. Search for terms you're interested in. Let us know what you think. We'll reopen suggestion submissions soon. Okay, so just saying, hey, we're still taking suggestions. This isn't here, and I expect this will probably be where they let us know kind of the premise for the roadmap too. Anyway, we know your eyes have been drawn to the graphic below, so we won't keep you much longer. One thing to note, a roadmap is a living and breathing thing. It will change as we develop the game, and things turn out to be harder or easier to implement than we originally thought. Yep, so that's kind of the disclaimer. They're basically saying everything below this point, take for it with a grain of salt, be excited, but don't fully expect this is constant, that all these things are going to make it into the final iteration, because they don't know what's going to be easier or harder to deliver on. And I think that's a really safe and good way for them to handle that. They're just saying, hey, here's our ideas. Hope you like them. Let's hope we can get as many of these into the game. Perfect. And with that, yeah, this is a little small, so we're gonna go actually, and we're gonna go over here. Yeah, I think that'll actually be a lot easier to read. And I, of course, will move my little PNG in a minute so we can get to the other side. They don't tell us exactly what to expect and when, which I thought was an interesting thing. Again, they're requesting feedback. I like it. Overall, it's a really cool thing they're doing here. So, first and foremost, we have Hollow Halls Dungeons. So what that sounds to me is like, it's like the new in-game, right? It sounds like it's going to be a lot like the Sun Temples, but more intense is probably what they're trying to go for there. And I think I very much welcome that. They need some in-game. That's definitely what they want to be focusing, I think, as well. Location improvements. I can't say that I know entirely what they're doing with that. This is very vague. I think that overall, they're probably talking about just like the icons for it. They don't want to actually do much with the changes in the locations. But who knows? I could be very wrong. I have no clue on that. Multiple NPC instances. So I believe that this is where they're referencing the problem that a lot of Enshrouded server users kind of met with, and that is that the NPC instances of their quest lines and stuff, if they did something while another person's offline, well, now that's just not available, or there might be a problem with that. And I think this is a very good thing for them to focus on. You're allowing server-based gameplay, and you gotta have this sort of thing going on, I think. More trees to grow. I bet that's for our builders. We want them to be able to have more options available for, you know, making their house as beautiful as possible. For our elf lovers out there, the ones that want to have the forest setting but don't exactly have exactly what they want on the game. It's a particular choice, but I like it. And okay, so the next one is Replayable World Quest. Replayable World Quest, I think, is really good. I hope they add experience to that. I can think of one in particular that sounds amazing, and that would be the quest to go to a very specific place that's very important to the game. No spoilers. But it ultimately ends in you fighting what I felt was probably the most epic boss yet. And I think that that'll be really good if they can make quests feel more rewarding, in my opinion. These next two really interest me. So, Enshrouded, if you didn't know, covers this idea of a kind of medieval fantasy, post-apocalyptic concept. And they do exceptionally well with that. They really do. You really do feel like the world is kind of barren. Like, all of the people have either been turned into these things by the elixir, or their world kind of devastated. Everybody's dead except the Flameborn and those that were chosen to live. So I'm very curious on how they're gonna do this. Are they gonna add more people to the world? More survivors? Maybe. That would be really cool. Honestly, like, you take a show like Walking Dead or any of those things, and the first thing you think about is, hey, they got the zombies, cool. They've got man versus nature, cool. But the real thing, and the thing that people tend to remember a lot, is like your scene with Negan and the man versus man morality complex that's there. Personally, I know that's what I love about post-apocalyptic worlds. You have this sense of everybody is kind of out for themselves. And you have to be to some extent. And I think that could be really cool to see that played out. Maybe make a community out of NPC townsfolk, set them up to do some stuff. It could be really cool, I think. And on the same vein of that, you have townsfolk pets. Now, townsfolk pets, I think, are going to be more like your little dogs or things like that, but it could be cool. Maybe they're giving us, maybe it's just a light way of saying that we get pets. I would love that. I know my fiance would absolutely adore that as well. Of course, I expected this with the mountains biome. You see the mountains in the background, you've got story to permit it. Everything makes sense. Mountains was absolutely going to be the next biome, and I, for one, am very much looking forward to that. I think it'll be very cool. I think it'll be pretty and different. Multiplayer pings, I can see where that's good for people that are playing multiplayer, especially non-vocally. Allow you the chance to kind of ping where you're going. Yeah, I can't see a reason that that'd be a bad thing. Okay, moving on to column number 2, and starting right away, we have Steam Deck support. So that's good. For anybody who has a Steam Deck, I think that'd be really good for them. These are really high-end hopes, and I think that the developers have a really good grasp on what's important. Trying to get the game out to as many people as they can, trying to make it as accessible while respecting your own limitations. It's admirable, in my opinion, of course. Improved loot UI. I kind of see this. I think that maybe it's the idea that when something drops, sometimes you just don't see it. It's very easy to kind of miss something that may have dropped if you don't pay attention and aren't a loot goblin. Then you have the reassignable glider shortcut. I expect that's probably just a shortcut to hotkeys, let people be more customizable. Round doors and windows. That's for our Hobbit lovers. That's for our people that love to build Hobbit houses and enjoy that whole scene. I think that that's going to be great. You can get some really cool ideas out of that. Better quest sorting, please and thank you, Enshrouded. Oh man, I cannot say how many times I've gotten lost in my quest folder. It's horrible. They don't really make it very easy to keep track of what you're doing. It can get really convoluted very quickly, so I'm looking forward to this change personally. Let's see, what do we got here? Right, so we have the vanity system, and the vanity system, I think they're probably going for an idea of customization. I'm hoping it's a overhaul of customization altogether, but I would also be very happy if it's just like transmog per se for armor, because who wants to run around in the yellow, purple, green? The best armor is the ugliest armor. Like, nobody wants that. I want to look like a rogue. I want to have my knightly appearance without looking, like a flamingo. Animal farming, I think that's an expansion of townsfolk pets. Probably pigs, cows, chickens. Oh, that'll be so good for our archers. Let you get some feathers, maybe some chicken meat to kind of help with dexterity food. Oh, that's a really big one that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully they don't make it as tedious as the current farming though, with the seed and seedbed / like getting your crops going. I personally find that system so tedious, but overall, it's good. It's necessary for the game. Makes sense. This one's interesting. It kind of reminds me of Nightingale and what they're trying to do to a degree, but I think it's kind of just their answer for server transfer, almost. Like, being able to go between servers. It's kind of hard for me to believe how they're gonna do that. It feels ambitious, but I guess that's probably why it's near the end of the list, maybe. I mean, I honestly have no clue, considering it's just this list, and we don't exactly know which direction to read it from or anything like that. Name tombstones, just a fun little change. I like it. I think it's a good way to differentiate. Now you know that, George Johnson died here. Performance improvements, of course. Standard, expect it. Workshops craft from magic chests, also huge. Love that. It's so annoying to have to take your stuff to the place and then sit there forever for it to finish making what you need to do your craft. It feels like a very good change there. Sitting on furniture, quality of life, roleplay, we love it. This is for our role players out there. Thank you very much. I want to sit on the throne that I've crafted. Potted plants, yeah, I think a little more roleplay. Also, get away from the massive crop idea could be good. Server gameplay settings, probably one of my favorite changes. If you have servers and you have customization, you want to have this because everybody likes to play the game differently, and I think that's very fair. You have your standard that you have people that don't have the kind of time that others do, and they want the chance to boost up their crafting speeds or their gathering, right? Like maybe they only want to hit a few trees and have enough wood to provide for their arrows so that they can actually play the game rather than play Farming Simulator. All these settings are just so important. It also allows for things like challenge runs more so. It allows for more replayability. It honestly should be a high priority in my opinion about this. Editable signs, I really don't know why this never made it into the base game, but I'm glad it's coming in now. I'm very much a person that likes to do sorting with my inventory and my storage, and the fact that I couldn't label my box, this is the wood box, this is the metal box, this is for my potions. Well, that's such a missight. Many other survival crafter games have this, and it's a staple. You really want it for people that like to be organized. Enemy patrols to me sounds like a almost raid system. Not in the classic like a WoW raid or anything like that. I'm talking more like your Valheim base raids that happened, or Grounded, or things of that sort, where enemies just kind of wander in and then they'll come and try and attack your base. I think it provides a lot to a game like this, because it makes you build a little bit differently, it makes you think a little bit differently when you're building, and gives you some excitement for those moments where you're just sitting there doing the monotonous farming. All of a sudden, you have to stop planting your peppers so that you can run out there and defend your home because nobody else is home at the time. New enemies and bosses, very welcomed. We love this. Give me more things to slay with my epic weaponry, please and thank you. I will appreciate it forever. And then yeah, like I said, I'll just have to move this. Let's just move me. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just do this for now. Be easier. Okay. Alright, getting my bearings, and here we are. So, smoother high FPS gameplay. I like it. I think it's welcomed. Nobody's gonna be upset about this. Nobody dislikes this concept. Better stack splitting. Yep. More storage capability. Thank you very much. Improved post-processing goes in with performance improvements, in my opinion. These two kind of could have been the same thing and I would have been happy, but I also understand the need to have a very even list. It is definitely a quirk of mine that my fiance and I have had a moment or two about every once in a while. New building materials for our builders. Everybody loves it. You gotta have new stuff, always things to look forward to. Server user rights. I can't really say much about this. I don't think I fully grasp it or understand exactly what they're going for with this, but I'm looking forward to an explanation in the future from them about it. Musical instruments, I love this. I see so many cool options here, especially if you add in with the townsfolk NPCs concept. Maybe you can have like your really cool bardic person that's out in the middle of your little town, and they're gonna play music for you that goes alongside the already epic orchestral that's involved with Enshrouded. Um, I'll come back to weather system in a second, just because this is more simple. Fixes and polishing, of course, you expect that, and nameable map locations. I also look forward to. I don't know about you guys, but I am that person that loves being able to mark my mines, mark where my stuff is going to be, like make it easier for me to find it later. So, big welcome to this. Finally, the weather system I wanted to talk about. So, this is so interesting that they're trying to add this in secondarily. Um, it's going to be really wild. Like, I think that when this change comes through, it's going to be like, oh man, it's a whole new game almost. Like, because you start having thunderstorms, maybe if you're in the snow area by the time the mountains biomes out. You've got snowstorms or rain, or it just gets really hot days where it's difficult to keep up with that. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with it. If it will be specifically aesthetic, or will they do something more like Valheim in the sense that if you get rained on, you're wet, and now your stamina is dog poop. Um, I, in a way, I kind of hope they don't, but hey, it it'll be good. I think it's a good change one way or the other. And yeah, then they have just a glimpse at some of the other major features coming later this year in their early access. So they're hoping these are all coming this year, and that is so exciting. Honestly, that sounds amazing. I love the game of Enshrouded, and I really want to see them do a lot more with it. I'm surprised we aren't seeing anything about classes, though. I'm very surprised for that. Maybe that's just a given class rebalance, changing things, but also no new weapons. Hmm, very surprising. Anyway, the final six here. Share good visiting of bases. Okay, I think this probably goes in with the portals to other servers a little bit. Um, I love it. I think that'd be really cool. Create and share gameplay experiences. Sweet. Yeah, you want to be able to do that. So I think that goes along with the server settings. Maybe you can actually, like, maybe they have a plan to let you edit your world. Wouldn't that be, that would be wild, man. That would be absolutely insane. Huh. That, that hurts my brain just thinking about with how beautiful their world is already. Um, World events. I'll come back there in a minute as well. That's something I'm super excited for. Instance dungeons. I think that's gonna be. I'm not exactly sure what they plan on doing with that, but maybe it goes along with the creation side of it. Um, I like it though. I think it'll be cool. More biomes, we expect it, but that does confirm that we are going to have more than the 5 biomes that we're already expecting. And even more than that, we have water. So they may be adding a sailing element into the game. Personally, yes, that sounds really cool. You gotta imagine what sort of shroud creatures are out in the ocean. What's beyond? If you look out, and if you get far enough, you'll see the ocean, and you'll see way out there, it's just red. There's just nothing. And I am so looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that. So finally, wanted to touch on the world events. So this, to me, sounds like major raid events, world bosses, that sort of concept, right? Either way, I love it. I think that world events will be a phenomenal addition to this game. Massive wolf that you can fight, and you may get a legendary out of it. Fantastic. It lets you fight a swarm of undead that come out of nowhere, and it lets you get a legendary or something. They need to just remember, fun is good and all, but you want to also allow for rewards. So maybe something like legendaries that are scaled to your level specifically would be really cool. I don't know. I really look forward to seeing what they're doing with this. They made an amazing world already, so having world events, I can't complain about it. I think it will be a fantastic addition to the game. And they leave us with a final note here. Enshrouded is getting bigger and better, and it's all thanks to you, the viewers. From the bottom of our heart, thank you for taking part in our early access. Well, thank you, King Games, because you made an amazing game, and I can't wait to get around playing it for, you know, my viewers and posting many, many videos over the content. Having a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, that pretty much sums it up today. That's just me, kind of giving my take on all of these new changes, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please remember to whack the subscribe button, hit the like, and throw me a comment below. I'd love to have a discussion talking about these changes. At the very least, let me know what your favorite ones. I will read them, and as soon as I'm able, I'm happy to respond. If you have any interest in Power World, like I said, I'm doing a challenge run for that. So you can check me out either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. So this coming tomorrow, Friday, I will happily be doing some more with my Power World adventure and trying to face the 5 bosses there. Anyway, it's been amazing. Love being able to do this for everybody, and I look forward to the next one. So, see you guys. Peace.